My dad met a lady online from the Philippines 11 years ago. He moved to the Philippines 8 or 9 years ago. My dad and I have had somewhat of an estranged relationship throughout my life, but have been really close for the last 11 years or so. We keep in contact often and talk on the phone often. I went to visit him for about a week at the end of March of 2024. We had a great time. The three of us, me, him, and his partner. There was no drama or conflict at all, and I'm so grateful for all of the memories we made. When they dropped me off at the airport, my dad was a bit cold, but I thought nothing of it at the time. I haven't heard from him since then. His partner has blocked me on Facebook. His partner's friend had reached out to me when I got home, and I replied back to her, then started asking about my dad and his partner, and she said, they are fine, and also blocked me. Something doesn't feel right here. He is the only one bringing in the income with the VA benefits and Social Security benefits. I also know everything has her name on it as well. Deed to home, bank accounts, etc. I reached out to the U.S. Embassy in the Philippines, but they told me that even if they did find him after doing a welfare check, they couldn't tell me the status of how he is. Due to some Privacy Act of 1974, they would just tell him that I have reached out to do the check and suggest that he reaches out to me. I emailed them back and asked if they could tell me if he was deceased, and haven't heard back yet. I'm looking on opinions on a couple of things. Can Filipino women become jealous of expat's family? Maybe she has forced him to cut ties with me due to our strong connection. He has tremors and relies on her to eat and get dressed. Or could someone be in a relationship with someone and really do something bad after 11 years of knowing them? It all just doesn't make sense to me. If anyone has an input or ideas, I would love to hear them. This was a story shared of someone concerned about their father. The truth is, many men come to the Philippines at the later stages of their lives. They don't have too much money, living on a small pension. Well, at least that's small in the US, but lots of money in the Philippines. My thoughts and assumptions would be, after the woman that your dad is seeing saw you and saw how close you are with your father, she got worried and scared that she may not receive any inheritance when he is passed away. So she is afraid that the only cash cow that she has somehow might get taken away from her. Yes, Filipino women are jealous and they can be diabolical. I do not trust any woman in the Philippines, especially one that keeps you away from your father and blocks you. Why are they blocking you? It is unreal what these women would do to someone in order to receive money. I want to know what others think of this story. There is something fishy going on, says someone. Why is your father's partner blocking you knowing you are his immediate family? Is he really been taken care of? I watched a local TV senator TOEFL that old foreigners were left in the streets because their partner got all the money he got. God forbid it will not happen to your father. This is a very likely possibility. My other suggestion for the person would be that go back to the Philippines, spend the money, go check up on your father, ensure that he is taken care of. But I understand that is not easy with work and cost of flights, accommodations, and perhaps you do not have his exact address. Slow Child says, I am sure you try to provide as much information as possible, but that doesn't mean you've provided all the information us internet strangers need in order to make sound judgment call. It's possible that your dad has decided to be a jerk, yet it's also possible that his girlfriend sees you as a threat to her inheritance and investment of time and effort. In the near worst case scenario, he could have passed and she is not letting anyone know because she knows his PIN and has his bank card and knows the SSVA stopped paying upon decease. Worse in that he is alive and being mistreated for the same purpose, but there's just no easy way to know for sure. I suggest asking for a wellness check. I also suggest hiring someone to check on him and reporting back to you. If he's near where I am currently, I'd be happy to do so for free, but that's up to you. Ultimately, you may end up needing to make a round trip, so you should start preparing for that possibility. I hope you get the answer you need. Precisely, this was my initial thoughts as well. It is a sad situation, but a reality of life for a man traveling to a foreign land where poverty is everywhere, when people only want your money and rarely care about you, especially if your father is that old that needs to get help dressing himself and feeding himself. It is very easy to take advantage of someone with poor health issues. Great Beat says, I would start by contacting a Filipino lawyer. I will stop reading this person's comment. I would never do that. If you are abroad and need something completed in the Philippines, do not ever get lawyers involved. Number one, you cannot trust them. Number two, they are incompetent. And number three, they are greedy. There are many reasons it's actually cheaper to fly there yourself instead of talking to any specific lawyer or having them do anything at all. Ordinary Exchange says, sounds like you have cause of concern. Yes, Filipinas can be jealous, deceitful, and manipulative, just like any other woman, or men for that matter. When people suddenly cut contact, something is usually happening. I was deployed during my first marriage. At first, my American wife's mom and friends talked to me regularly. When they stopped talking, I knew something was going on. Just before I came home, her dad and stepmom called to let me know that she was pregnant and living with her boyfriend. That is another possibility, the possibility that your father's partner has a husband or boyfriend of her own. She does not want you snooping around, finding out what they are up to, and she does not want you to be affecting her only source of income. Dry Reference says, can Filipino women get jealous of the expat's family? Not really. If they don't have hidden intentions and they got jealous, that would be immaturity at its peak. Oh yes, because Filipino women are very mature, correct? Let's read one more comment. Jamshi says, my dad left me homeless in the Philippines for 6 months due to similar issues. He remarried my stepmom when I was young, and I moved over at the age of 19 for 2 years. I never really knew her before I went over. She instantly started fights and wanted me to leave. Nothing I did wrong. She just hated competition over where his money went. She moved to the family's home from Dumaguete to Jensen and started building a house there. She kept building it incorrectly or in ways that add exuberant amounts to time and cost. She did it to pocket more money from my dad and blame me for money issues, saying I was withdrawing money in Dumaguete still. She charged over 20,000 and blamed me. She later moved back to Dumaguete and kicked me out of my dad's house, and he refused to help me because he thought I had stolen $20,000. I was homeless for 6 months before I got back to the U.S. At the same time he brought me over, he found out her dad was cheating on her mom and was giving the money he was providing the family to his mistress. They all blame me for the money stopping because it coincided with the time I came over, and that was why they hated me. I write all this to say that your dad is probably being fed horrible lies about you right now. While I love the Philippines, there are terrible people there, just like anywhere. They will sell their daughters to old white men, and if anything gets in the way of their profit, they'll do anything to get rid of you. That's today's story. Unbelievable how far some people go in order to protect their income, which is you, the ATM. because that is all they see you for. This is today's catfish. How do you go from this to this? The best comment from yesterday is from Gecko. I don't know, man. My ex, first Filipina syndrome, was almost perfect to start with. Extremely attentive. Weekly manicures, pedicures, daily massages, customized menu, zero hounding for pera. Hymen intact. Baptist church every Sunday. By 3 years and 2 babies, she was a total mess. Didn't care about our house, let alone me. Let the baby stay up until they fell asleep around midnight, wake up around lunchtime, money given for bills vanishing while the bills turned red, borrowing from my friends in secret, stealing to send to her family who didn't need it, but pasalubang utang na loob. If they're smart and well trained, they'll put on a heck of a show. Definitely, I know many others have similar stories. The truth is, anytime you feel any disrespect from any woman, you should simply walk out and leave. There is no worst comment. Thank you for watching. Subscribe to the channel to spread the truth about this country. Click thumbs up. Send super thanks to show appreciation regarding the efforts I put in to spread the truth. Thanks for watching. God bless.